Hello, my name is Michael Niemas and I'm building the Sauber-Mercedes C9 Slotcar. I'm a model maker and I want to show you how I came to this result. In this episode, I will finalize the car completely and I will install a lighting kit this here. Then we will have lights at the front, lights at the rear and maybe a little bit more. So enjoy the video! As you could already see in the other videos, I spent so much time into the fitting and finishing work of the body, and now it comes to the details. Here, for example, I'm preparing the etching parts for the front lights, exactly the lenses, and I drilled the etching parts so that I will have the best effect later with the SMDs. Here you have seen the cooler, which was made of two parts, and the base for this was the Studio 27 etching part kit, as also for this fueling parts. They are just stunning. To the cockpit I added some Kevlar decal, and to the driver figure I fitted a completely setted seatbelt to make the driver as safe as possible positioned in the car. Later on I started with the designing of the helmet, and the best way here was to do it with an old school hand painting. I am adding some screws to mount the visor to the helmet, but in fact it's very interesting to know that some of the drivers that were racing that car haven't used a visor back the days as the car was a closed one. To get the best effect for the Momo logo at the steering wheel, and also for the speedometers and the screens on the dashboard, I use some clear UV resin that will create an effect that is very close to glass. You will see that the result is very good and I love to work with this material. Yeah, and now we are ready to glue in the cockpit to the body. It's a little marriage and I use a time lapse here as this took, some time. First I put the cockpit into position with some super glue, and later on I used the Patex solvent-free to glue it as strong as possible. I paint the indicators with an orange edding pen. What you see now could be very interesting as I show how I glue transparent parts into position without any risk of damaging or wasting the parts with the glue or any things that could happen. The base to get a very good result is that everything is absolutely dust free. Here I'm using the gloves, as you could see, and I'm cleaning the glasses as good as I can. The static is a problem here, and with wearing the gloves I discovered that it's getting much more better to disattract dust to come onto the parts. I'm using the 100% solvent-free Patex glue, and I put the glue around the complete surface, and now I'm adding the glass and press it on. The same for the other side. Now, you shouldn't be afraid to put on some glue again between the transparent part and the body. And here we see that the capillary effect will work extremely good, as the glue will suck completely into the gap and will make everything look just perfect. I just take off all of the glue that is too much with a Q-tip, and here later on I will be able to polish everything to a perfect finish. I'm a big fan of this Pateks glue because he is water-based, and with a wet cloth or Q-tip you can wipe off what you don't want to have at the model. And later on, if there are still some residues rest, then you can polish them off. I do the same process now for the front windscreen, and here I want to let you know that for a slot car you have to glue everything very strong, as later on track the car got some vibrations like on an earthquake, and everything need to be very strong glued, but it's very good if we have some elastics in the glue, and this glue allows a little bit movement of the parts as it's a little bit elastic, and for our purpose but also for scale modelers it's just perfect. Here we see the result of a couple of hours just gluing transparent parts to the body. And here we are. The car is very close to get finished. I will add some details as the wiper, the antennas. I will give it a little bit of touch-ups. A few rivets and screws will come onto the body, and then finally it's done. This is what I really had in mind, to show you how the light is working, how to install the light, but the truth was a little bit different. I had some serious problems because the light was working excellent, and within 1 second on the first time on track the light was going off. And that's the reason why I will do another video telling you what was the reason and how you can prevent also from getting the same effect at home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you enjoyed today's video. See you in the next one. Your Michael.